Nearly 60% of Americans plan to attend a barbecue this 4th of July holiday weekend, where some 150 million hot dogs will be eaten. Which brings us to one very special jumbo dog and 12 college grads who have landed a very unique first job, driving an American icon across the country. Before they give you the keys to go hot dogging all over the U.S., these 20-somethings are grilled on their driving skills. It's training that has always been off limits to cameras until now. Kris Van Cleave has the story from Madison, Wisconsin.
Take a moment, realize what's occurring.
Yeah.
This is an iconic moment. You're about to drive the Frankmobile.
Yeah.
So let's go. It's happening.
This is the very first time Sam DeLotte has been given the keys to his new company car. But it's not just any car. It's an American icon.
Look good on the turn.
A computer science major from Purdue, he's one of 12 recent college grads who will spend the next year crisscrossing the country as Frankfurters, the lucky dogs behind the wheel of the Oscar Mayer Frankmobile.
When I say this is a dream country, I mean it. Like, holy cow.
They beat out about 2,000 other applicants to drive a 14,000-pound, 11-foot-tall, 27-foot-long hot dog. That's the equivalent of laying out 60 hot dogs end-to-end, stacked 24 francs high. How is this thing to drive?
So yeah, I've never driven anything like the Frankmobile. I kept catching myself looking, trying to see the rearview mirror, and there's nothing there. So it was definitely a learning curve there. Felt great.
There are actually 8 Frankmobiles in existence. 6 are on the nation's roads at any one time. In teams of 2, these Frankfurters will steer them to about 1,200 appearances.
Do you eat a lot of hot dogs? I do. Frankly, I think they're delicious. I'm a huge fan.
But first, the 8 women and 4 guys have to complete this driving course of careful maneuvering without hitting any cones. The course simulates things like getting gas, turning around, and of course, parking.
Perfect.
The idea is to let the new drivers get into a pickle here and not in the real world.
You're going to be going around in circles.
It's up to Sue Williams and her team of former Madison, Wisconsin police officers to catch up these 20-somethings with the rules of the road, because no one wants a bruised bun.
Teaching somebody how to maneuver a very long vehicle, a very wide vehicle, is always challenging because it's something that they've never done. How about backing up left?
The key, she says, is teamwork.
Stop.
And careful attention.
Close the gap. Always follow all traffic laws.
So there's no hot dogging in the hot dog.
You're on your A game, you're polite, you're professional.
This is literally so crazy. What is my life?
Binghamton University grad Chloe Van Cassel aced it.
It was perfect.
What made you want to drive this across the country?
Adventure and the missions. This is the furthest west I've ever been in my entire life, so it'll be really cool to see the rest of the country and to spread smiles along the way.
This iconic rolling piece of meat is probably better known as the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, the name it bore since it was cooked up by Oscar Mayer's nephew Carl, first hitting the streets of Chicago in 1936.
It was new and revolutionary in the marketing industry. People loved it.
All right, buddy. Ed Rowland has been the Wienermobile's top dog for the last 20 years.
After the Great Depression, when people really needed a little bit of joy and a little bit of a smile in their life, he thought this would be a great way to get out there and spark smiles.
Rumor has it the original Wienermobile was recycled for its metal to help the war effort in the early 1940s. The oldest surviving Wienermobile dates to 1952 and is currently on display at the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit. But for decades, this jumbo dog ended up on the back burner.
It's O-S-C-A-R.
To the company's catchy TV jingles.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Until the late 1980s, when the Wienermobile came racing back.
It was cooler than a GTO, faster than a Stingray, and it tasted great with mustard. It was the Wienermobile.
And since 1988, these big dogs have been rolling through all 50 states year-round.
How key to the Oscar Mayer product is the Wienermobile?
Oh, it's very integral. It was relevant and amazing in '88, and it is today. It is a social media darling.
So why mess with a social media darling and change the name this year? Oscar Mayer's Beef Franks got a new recipe, and they needed promoting.
Is there a difference between a wiener and a frank?
Actually, there is. A wiener has a blended meat, so it's more than one kind of meat in the hot dog, and a frank has a single meat.
And the Wienermobile got a new name, at least for now.
We're testing it out this summer. We've given the wieners a love for a long time. Now we're trying to give our beef franks some love.
So it may not stay the Frankmobile for decades to come.
Well, we'll have to see if it cuts the mustard.
Let me relish that joke for a moment.
Okay.
Kat Abraham is wrapping up her year behind the wheel,
Let's do it. Toll some buns.
logging nearly 40,000 miles across 28 states.
I did not have a car prior to this job. And
Wait. This is your first car?
This was my first car.
One of her last Frankmobile assignments, letting us ride shotgun. That's their term, not mine. The Frankmobile holds up to 6, but does not have a kitchen. Its carpet resembles condiments, and its roof is painted like a blue sky. There's a bun-shaped glove box. You guessed it, the bun box. And the seat belts, those are meat belts.
More people have been to space than have driven the Frankmobile. And not too many people get to ride along in it either.
So what is it like to drive this thing?
At first, it's a bit intimidating, but once you get behind the wheel and you get out and you see people's reactions on the road, you realize what an honor it is. Our whole job, really and truly, the mission is to make people smile every day.
I like to tell the hot doggers every single day they're making new I Remember Whens, because that's really what it's about. It's those memories, those connections with the people and our fans.
And to be frank, just about anywhere they go, heads turn and the fans come, cameras in hand, to get a shot of this barbecutie making one of those moments.
Cheesy weenie!
Chloe Van Cassel can't wait to be up in its grill for real.
Made me a little emotional, to be honest, to be getting my buns in that seat, buckling the meat belt, and starting to hit the road. So it's a dream come true.
You could say their primary job now is to hang out with their grill friends. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Kris Van Cleave in Madison, Wisconsin.
The puns!
I
The
know. Did
puns!
he think about all of those before he went out to talk to everyone? I just love all the ladies behind the wheel.
Grill Friends was good.
That
Girlfriends was good.
Why do they have to say on the side of the Frankmobile, don't lick it?
Maybe people try to
Like,
lick
do
it.
people really try to lick it?
They don't try to take a bite. It doesn't say don't
It says that on the side.
I don't know. Put your bun in the seat and buckle in your meat belt.
Yeah, there it is.
We got little
What are you doing there?
Nice.
That was a good
them
whistle.
apples?
KVC, that was a fantastic.
It really was fun.